I quit social media and it's changing my life. Yes, it is not a joke. For a long time now, I have been pondering the thought of quitting social media for good, thinking about how it would make me feel after deleting it, my mental health, my everyday life, and also my spirituality. In today's video, I'm showing why I deleted it and how it really felt to delete my accounts, sharing some journal entries from the first 5 days of social media. And oh my God, it has been really eye-opening. So before I get into sharing my experience further, I just want to explain that I deleted all of my social media except my YouTube and my website and my Patreon. These online platforms give me purpose and allow me to inspire others and also to flow with my creative self. And even just without everything else, it has been amazing. So why did I quit social media? What encouraged me to finally quit social media was when I decided recently that I want to live a more slow and simple lifestyle that allows me to be more in tune with the natural world, to really tap into my spirituality on a deeper level, to allow myself to slow down and quieten the noise of the modern world, to be in the present moment and have time for myself and my loved ones, to simply not be so addicted to my phone. So far, just after a week, it has been life-changing. Right now in this world, we need more influence of a simple, sustainable and intentional lifestyle. The earth simply can't keep up with our fast-paced modern way of living, and she is showing that to us already. Day 1 of quitting social media. On day 1, the morning that I deleted it, I felt instantly more connected to the outside world. The trees, the birds, people I said hello to on the street, customers at work, and at the end of the day, I had 80% of battery left on my phone. Usually I have about 30 to 50% of battery left. Time after work went slower, which was enjoyable. Instead of coming home and scrolling on my phone, checking what others posted for the day, I sat down and I wrote a blog post for my Patreon members. I felt like I was using the time in more meaningful ways. After dinner, I watched a documentary about minimalism and sustainable living. I then tidied my cluttered walk-in robe, bathroom, and did my nightly personal care. I then had time to read a book in bed, and it was only 9:30 p.m. at that point. Usually I get to bed around 10:30, 11, and I didn't feel the need to meditate that night as well. It felt like life had already slowed down for me after just one day of no social media. Day 2 of no social media. On the morning of day 2, it felt extra special and sacred without checking what the rest of the world was doing and saying in the morning. There were a few tasks that I wanted to start on which I normally would leave for the weekend, as I felt like I didn't have time or energy to do so during the weekdays. I felt more in control and have power over my phone. It no longer has power over me. I ended up getting done way more than I anticipated without ever feeling the need to rush. I also had time to reflect on a part of my life that I have to start thinking about, which is my future. I honestly felt so good that morning. During the day, I had emotions that came up all of a sudden about an aspect of my life and also the past. My struggles with being in debt and my past of emotional shopping and spending. I felt upset and really got to feel the emotions and let them arise. I realized that I really needed to feel those emotions, learn and reflect on the past, because I ended up finding clarity and determining what my next step was. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, whether not being on social media had impacted or influenced the situation, but I believe that I wouldn't have been as focused as I was about my feelings, decisions, emotions and choices. It got to night time, which fell on a Friday night, and again it went very slow in a good way. It was a great feeling knowing that after a big working week that I could disconnect and go within, not just watch what others were doing with their weekends. On day 2, I really started to notice how much other people use their phones, knowing that I was just like that as well. Day 4 of no social media. My weekend was spent being productive and connecting with family. I had a family event on which was really special. I must admit though that I felt like I was missing out on the social media updates that family members around my age were posting for that night. But then I realised that I was actually there, and that is the main thing, being in the present moment. I also felt slightly more confident from a person who has experienced social anxiety. Coincidence or not, whether social media influences that? I spent some quality time with my family members and loved ones. The connections felt more intense. The urge of checking my mobile phone is slowly going away. I don't automatically go to press certain apps anymore, such as Instagram or Facebook. I'm starting not to care what is going on in the digital world, and I'm falling in love with the present moment. Day 5 of no social media. Life without social media is starting to feel more normal now. I hardly ever think about it, and the benefits of quitting social media has outweighed the feelings of missing out. I feel more connected with my creative energy, the passions of mine that made me start writing, filming, and photographing in the first place. I feel more inspired to play around more with my creativity and not put myself in a cage so much. I decided that I wanted to share more of my lifestyle and journey than just spirituality on my YouTube. I want to just be more flexible and go with the flow. I also wrote a list of things I want to do with my extra time, and I filled up a whole page of activities and projects I want to do with my personal and home life. Things that bring me joy and are intentional and meaningful. I'm taking the list slow and working on one thing at a time, focusing and concentrating on that single task. So the verdict, will I get social media again? I wonder where I would be now if I hadn't decided to quit social media at all. Only 5 days, and I've gotten so much out of the experience. I feel this unexplained joy now. I notice the simple things. Everything has slowed down. Life doesn't feel as fast and stressful anymore. And although it still may take time getting used to, because apparently now it takes 66 days to form a habit, it's felt like the right decision to do. I won't be reactivating my social media accounts anytime soon, and I encourage you to try a 5-day social media detox and see how it makes you feel, or just try using social media less, so you can keep updated with my life by subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I also post weekly blog posts on my website about simple, spiritual and sustainable living. And if you'd like to see more content, I also have a Patreon, which I will leave in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts about social media. Bye.